Hi everyone, welcome to the session 2 of module 2. So in the previous session we talked about data structure called list, and in this session we will be talking about data structure which is dictionary. Okay, and let me also try to save this file, okay, and call this as dictionary. Okay, DICT. Okay. So now what is the difference between list and a dictionary? So list, we once we define a list, we can fetch the elements of a list through the indexing, right? Which we have seen, like we have a predefined indexes and through which we take the elements of the list, right? Whereas in a dictionary you can define the indexes. And what does that mean? Like dictionary is basically a key value pair, guys. Okay, it is a key and value pair. Okay, now keys should be unique for the dictionary. Okay, so we will see, let's define a dictionary and we will find out more. Okay, so dictionaries are defined within a curly braces, and as I mentioned, it needs a key value pair. So let me write a name. Okay, and the value is, let's say, Justin. Okay, so this is the value for this key. Similarly, I will have a location. Okay, and then I'll say, okay, so the location is this and the value is Chennai. Okay, and then salary, let me give the salary. Okay, and then I will have, okay, so this is my dictionary, so let me also do this. Okay, so for after each element I have to put a separate comma as a separate. So very first thing what we always do is to print the dictionary, and that is what we are going to do. Okay, this time also, and saying that the type of the dictionary, right? So this is what we are going to, what is the type that will get returned. Okay, so let me run this code so that we can see the output. Now if you see this, the class is a dictionary class, right? Now, okay, so this was the first step, and let me write this. Okay, now the thing is, I said I need to access the elements of the list, right? Or sorry, for the dictionary, right? So how do I access it, guys? Let's say I need to access the name. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply say print. Okay, and I wanted the name, and I can say emp underscore dictionary, right? And this time I'm going to pass it name. Okay, and this is the key through which I can get the value. Okay, and let me do this. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna access my element. This is the one way of access. Let us first see this, and then we'll see more. Something is wrong. Name. Okay, so there is a space, guys. Space should not be there, so key should be without this. I mean, the key should be exactly the same. Okay, if there is a space, it will not return, but now the space I've removed, the name has been written as Justin. You guys can see this, right? Now this is I just retrieve an element of this. Okay, so let's add an element to the dictionary. Okay, so let's do add element to dictionary, right? Now how do I add an element? Let's say I wanted to add the team for this element. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, that team, okay, for Justin, and I'm going to assign a value. Okay, and let's say I'm gonna assign the value testing, right? So, and then after that again I'll print the dictionary. Okay, so now if you see this, the team dictionary has been printed. Oh sorry, the team testing has been printed other than the name, location and the salary. So this is how I add element to my dictionary. Okay, and Now I can remove element, right? So let me just do this. Remove element from dictionary. So how do I remove an element, guys? Okay, if you remember, we have used this command function called del. Okay, and I'm going to say what I'm going to remove, and I'm going to pass that. Okay, so what I'm going to remove is location. Okay, and I'm going to again print it. Okay, and this time I'm going to say after the after removing element from dictionary. Okay, so I'm going to remove this location, guys. So let's see. So now if once I remove the location, right, so location will not be seen in my dictionary, right? Now one more thing is there are methods, right? So on this dictionary, okay, I can use various methods. Okay, so what methods we are going to see over here is keys, values, okay, and items. We'll see one by one. Okay, let's see the keys method. For okay, for key in emp dict dot keys. Okay, so what I'm going to type is I'm going to print, okay, and I'm going to say print what. Okay, print the key, and say I wanted to also print the values in that. Okay, so how do I print the value, guys? Okay, I can just say values. Okay, and then I can say emp underscore dictionary, and I can pass on this key, right? And this is how I print this all the values. Okay, so let me also call this as keys. Okay, right? So this is how I'm going to print the keys, and keys method is very useful whenever you are trying to I mean, it's mostly used whenever you are trying to retrieve an element from your dictionary. In most of your code you will be using this. Now if you see this, keys, name, values, Justin, and so on and so forth, right? The other method is values. Okay, so which will not use mostly. Let's see the another method. Okay, let's see key and values. Okay, and at one shot I'm going to get this. Okay, in emp dict dot items. Okay, so when I use this method I can directly get the key and the values. Okay, and I'm going to say key comma value. Okay, and this is take each element and print me the key and the value for that element. Okay, right? Okay, let me run this and show it to you. So now if you see this, name, Justin, salary, this, and blah blah and all, right? Now one of the important thing of a dictionary is you cannot have the same keys, guys. Okay, so let's say you have a name Justin and I add another key. Okay, and I say this name, and I say, let's say something like Daniel. Okay, let me run this, right? Now if you see this, now Daniel is overwritten, right? Or Justin is overwritten by Daniel. You will always see the Daniel, right? So we would like to avoid this kind of a situation. Okay, so what we will do, guys, okay, we will first check the elements of the list. Okay, whether the name is already present or not, or sorry, for the dictionary. Okay, whether this element is already present or key is already present. How do we check it? We have seen the membership operator. Okay, we have seen it in the list also. So what it says, if, and I'm going to give my condition. Okay, if name in, okay, and I'm going to say that if keys. Okay, so keys is the method which is available. If it is there, then you say print key is already available. Okay, now otherwise or else I'm say I will print key is not available, right? So this is just, this will check if the name key is present. If it is not, it will go into the else loop. Okay, key is already available because the name key is already available. Okay, or let me change this now to location, right? Because we have already deleted the location. So what should I expect? Key is not available, right? That is what I'm expecting. Now say key is not available. So it will return that key is not available. Okay. Now, okay. So another important concept is of dictionary comprehension. Okay. Right. We have seen the list comprehension. So it is similar to that. Okay. Let's first define the list. Okay. Or dictionary, guys. And I'm going to say what all I have. Bangalore, Chennai. Okay. Then Hyderabad. Okay, then Mumbai, and then Orissa. Okay, and then Kochi. Okay, so this is my dictionary. Okay, now in order to use the comprehension, okay, so how will I use it, guys? So let's say I wanted to get the location or length of the all the location, right? So what was the challenges we were facing when we were using the list? We could not print the both the things, right? Length as well as the location name. So here what we are going to do is we are going to say, first I'm going to print the location, and then I'm going to say that okay, so this is my key. Okay, so location is my key and length of location. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, okay, for location in location. Okay, right? So it will print me the location and then the length of the location, right? So that is what I am expecting, that it should give me these two things. Okay, right? So okay, so this is, I need to write a function, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna get the length of location. Okay, so location, length of location for location in this. Okay, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this values. Okay, so basically let me print, okay, this values, print, and I'm going to print two things, like, so I have to do key values. Okay, so how do I iterate through this, guys? For key comma value in length of location, okay, dot items. Okay, and I say print key, okay, comma value, right? So this will give me the keys as well as the values from this from this uh, from this dictionary. Okay, so let's run this. Now if you see this, it is giving me the length, okay, as well as the location name. Now I can So one of the third parameter what we can have is if location dot ends with, and then I'm going to say what it has to end with. Let's say I'm only interested into location which ends with I, right? So I have done that. Now let me run this code. Now if you see this, only Chennai and Mumbai are being written, right? Okay. So guys, what what dictionary comprehension can do is better than what we have seen through the list comprehension, right? Okay, so this ends our session on dictionary comprehension, and let us take another data structure, okay, which is tuples, okay, right? And let me save this tuple, okay, and okay. Now tuples are a constant list, guys, okay. Tuples, whereas um, list is mutable, okay, whereas the tuples are immutable, okay. So what does that mean, immutable? So it can be, the tuples can be reassigned, but individual elements cannot be changed, okay. So we have seen strings as well is the immutable one. Similarly, we have tuples as the immutable one, okay. And tuples, we cannot add an element to the tuples, okay. Add or remove an element we cannot do, okay. So we have a limited number of functionality on the tuples, guys, okay. So let's do one thing. Let's first start with some tuple, okay. So let me first work with the numbers tuple, okay. So let's say I have a numbers tuple, okay, and this number tuples has got, let's say, some elements, okay. Let's say this is my number tuples. As usual, guys, what we will do, the first thing, okay, what we are gonna say is num underscore tup type of number underscore tuple, right? So let's run this. Now if you see this, oh, it's a set, okay. So tuples are with this, okay. So tuples are with parentheses, guys, okay. Now if you see this, it's a tuple. Otherwise it is a set, guys, okay. We will anyway look into the set data structure, okay, but let's finish on the tuples, okay. So now we have done this, okay. The next thing would be to look into the function, okay. So we have seen the function called sorted, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sort this, okay. So how do I sort this, guys? I will say num underscore sort, okay, and I'm going to call sorted method function, okay, and I'm going to say pass on num underscore tuple, okay, and I'm also going to say reverse is equal to true, okay, and then finally I'll print num underscore sort, okay, and I'll say sorted tuple, okay. Let's run this. So now if you see this, the sorting order is reverse 5 4 3 2 1, right? So this is my sort method. Now one more thing is the sort returns list, right? If I have to change it to tuple, how do I do that, guys? I will just say tuple, okay, and I will rerun this, right? Now if you see this, it has returned me the sorted tuple. Now let's see the couple of functions, more functions on tuple, okay. Now first thing is the length, okay, and what I'm going to say, number, okay, let me do this, all numbers in number underscore tuple. Okay, and how will I get that? Length of num underscore tuple, right? So this will give me okay, this is the first function. Then I will have max and minimum. Max of, okay, similarly I can have min. Sorry about this, guys. So I have a max function, I have a min function, okay, so and the length function. So let's see all of them. Now if you see this number of elements 5, max number is 5, minimum number is 1, right? So this is how you use the number tuples. Okay, now one more important thing is let's define a tuple which is a string. Okay, so let me say I'm going to define this zoo. Okay, and this zoo has got python. Okay, then it is having elephant. Okay, and then it is having, let's say, penguin. Okay, now let me define a new zoo. Okay, and just observe this, guys, because what we are going to do here is I'm going to say monkey. Okay, so what this says that the first animal in zoo was python, then second came the elephant, and third came the penguin. In the new zoo, monkey came first, and then camel came. Okay, and then finally all the animals from the previous zoo came. Okay, so this is, I'm augmenting my new zoo with the old zoo. Okay, now this becomes interesting, guys. Okay, now let's use, how do we use the length function? Okay, so number of cages in the new zoo. Okay, let's do this. Number of cages in new zoo. Okay, so I'm gonna type this and I'm going to pass this. Okay, right? So let's run this. Okay, so this is length. Okay, so it is basically say number of cages, and let me also do, let me just print as it is. Okay, all animals in new zoo, and I'm not going to use this, I'm going to just print this. Okay, so let's run this and we will see some kind of observation we will see. Now if you see, the number of cages in the new zoo is 3, and number of animals in the new zoo is, now if you see, monkey, camel is in a separate cage, whereas this one is just entirely the everything. Okay, everything comes as part of a single element, so number of cages it is returning as 3. Okay, but that is not what we expect, guys. Okay, so what we expect, all of these 3 elements, animals, to be different. Okay, and so number of cages should return, this is 2 plus the number of animals in this zoo, so total it should return 5. So how will you do that, guys? Okay, so what we are gonna do is length of new zoo, okay, minus 1 plus length of old zoo, right? And this will give the number of cages. Okay, or basically the number of animals, let's say animals in the new zoo. Maybe you can put all 3 in the one cage, so let's define it as an animals only. Okay, and then so basically it is all coming as a single tuple. So we will see how to read this properly. Okay, so animals brought from the new zoo, from the old zoo. How will I do that, guys? How will I print this? So all animals in new zoo is this. Okay, all animals from old zoo. And how will I do that, guys? I'm gonna say new zoo and I'm going to pass second. Okay, so basically this is the zeroth element, this is the first element, this is the second element, right? So what it will print, it will print all the animals from the old zoo. Number of animals in the new zoo will be defined by this. Okay, and if I have to say python is first, elephant is second, and penguin is third, so if I have to say the last element brought into the old zoo, okay, I'm going to type, okay, last animal in old zoo. Okay, so now how will I return this, guys? I will say new zoo and I'm going to pass this. Okay, so what it will do, it will take the second this thing, and of this it will take another the second one. So penguin should be what I'm expecting it to return. Okay, so let's run this, guys. Now if you see all animals in the new zoo, all animals from the old zoo, last animal from the old zoo is penguin, and number of animals in the new zoo is 5, right? So this is how you can get all the I mean, if you embed club two tuples together, this is how you read it. Okay, so another thing is tuple comprehension, guys. Okay, like a list and a dictionary comprehension, we have a tuple comprehension. So let's say what is difference between tuple comprehension. Okay, okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, okay, so I have a number tuple, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, so this is the expression, right? And I'm going to say for num in, okay, num underscore tuple, okay, or basically from 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so what it is going to return me, okay, so let's write the print statement, and I'm gonna say tuple comprehension, and I'm going to print the tuple. Okay, okay, now let's see if this returns correctly or not. Okay, so it says tuple comprehension and it returns a generator object, guys. Okay, now this generator object, okay, this is very important, guys. Okay, so what is a generator object? It is something like a sequence in Oracle which will return value one by one. And how will I return the value? Okay, so let's say generator with tuple. Okay, and let us now see. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to print, guys. Okay, so I have a tuple. Okay, and I'm going to say underscore underscore, and I'm going to say next underscore underscore, and I'm going to say this. Okay, right? So let me print this. Okay, so let's run this, guys. Now if you see this, it says 1 9 16 25 and 4. Okay, so it picks up this tuple. Okay, 1 3 4 5 and 2, and it basically, this is something which calculates the square, and then finally it gives me the results. Okay, so tuple comprehension is or a generator is something which will allocate the memory one by one. Okay, and it will be used only when you return, or only when you're using that function. Okay, so we will talk about more of generator object when we will be dealing with the yield function. Okay, in the later part of the session. Okay, right? So okay, so this was tuple, and let's jump on to a set. Okay, so this is the last data type or the data structure which we're gonna talk about. Okay, so let's talk about set. So set you must have all read, right? So there are the functions in sets are A union B, right? A union B, A intersection B, then set A minus set B, or differences, and the symmetrical thing. Okay, so we'll go one by one. So union, you know, right? It basically is of two sets which will return each and every element from both the sets. Intersection will return the common element. Okay, and set A minus set B will return whatever is in A and which is not part of the B. Similarly, B minus A will return whatever is in B which is not part of A. And symmetrical difference is basically the elements which are only present in A and only in B. So no common elements will be created. Okay, so what we are going to do, guys, is let's say, let me first create two lists. Okay, let's create a list. We're going to talk about is set. Okay, so let me create a list. Okay, list underscore A. Okay, and I'm going to say list underscore B. Okay, now is equal to, okay, and set only contains a unique record, guys. Okay, so right, so this is the important thing which I'm gonna show it to you. So let's say I have a list. So let me repeat one or two elements, guys. Okay, so let me just repeat A, and again let me repeat F. Okay, so this is my first list. Okay, and the second list I'll put everything as unique, guys. Okay, and I'll just say B and C. Okay, so only three elements. Okay, so that it becomes easier for us. So first I'm going to print list A. Okay, and I'm going to say list B. Okay, so this is list underscore B. Okay, now after this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a set. Okay, and basically I'm going to say set underscore A is equal to set of list underscore A. Okay, and set B is nothing but set of list underscore B. Okay, and I'm going to print the sets. Okay, so let me print set set. Okay, so we'll see the difference in the output, guys. Okay, now if we see this list A contains everything, list B is ABC. Now when I say set A, all the duplicates have automatically been removed, guys. So A is removed. Okay, so it will have only single occurrence of A, single occurrence of B, single occurrence of F, right, single occurrence of C, D. So everything is a unique. You will not have any repetition. So initially it was 8 elements and now it has become 6 elements, right? So basically it has removed the duplicate elements. You can see this, right? Okay, now let's see the methods, right? So first we will see the union. Okay, So what is A union B? Okay, so set underscore A dot union set underscore B. Okay, let me check guys if it is. Let intersection, so I can see the intersection. Oops, dot in intersection. Okay, I'm gonna say set B. Okay, and so let me do one thing guys, let me start printing it. Okay, okay, first I have union. Okay, okay, then I have intersection. Okay, okay, right. So let, these are the two things, then what we have difference. Okay, so difference of so basically, okay, intersection set A, this is set A minus set B. Okay, and I will have another difference of B minus A. Okay, so this is set B minus set A. Okay, and symmetric. Okay, let's type the symmetric. Okay, so this is the last thing, symmetrical. Okay, now let me just set A dot symmetric difference. Okay, and I'm gonna say this set underscore B. Okay, okay, right. So these are the 5 things, so let's run one by one. Okay, so there is something wrong. Okay, there is no symmetric difference, so let me comment out for some time. Okay, so okay, so let me just comment this out. Okay, now let's say the first thing, right, union. Okay, so what it will do, A union B, right? So if you see, it has two. So how many elements are there? 6 plus 3, 9, right? So union is it will return a common element only once. Okay, and why it is returning twice? C. So A B is fine. Okay, C is once it has to return. Then F B E D. Why it is returning twice? C. Something is wrong with this guys. Okay, maybe there is one space and one without a space, so that is the difference. Okay, so what is the problem? Okay, so this is space. Okay, now let me rerun it again, otherwise it takes us a separate element. Okay, now it is much better, right? If you see union, everything is written single. Intersection, so what is the common between A B and C? Only A B C and are the common, right? Difference, if you see A minus B, it will, A minus B will return FED, and B minus A, there is nothing, right? So that is what it is. Now one of the thing, okay, okay, I think this is the right spelling of this. Okay, so let me just rerun this. Okay, okay, so symmetric, as I said, so symmetric, what does it does? It will return the element from A, from B, which are not common. So what is not common? A, B, C is not common. Okay, and it will return D, E, and F, right, which is not common. So what it is returning? It is returning D from the set, E and F, whereas A, B, C are common between the sets. Okay, so these are the methods on the sets. Now another thing is, let me call this all methods. Okay, now similar thing you can use with the operators. Okay, so in spite of saying say set A dot union set B, you can say with OR operator. This is OR, this is AND operator. Okay, so let me show you one of them. Okay, so set A or set B, right, and let's run this. Now if you see this, it returns me exactly the same thing. Okay, and similarly intersections are nothing but AND. Okay, so this will be something like this. Okay, so this is AND. Difference is, you can say A set A minus set B, or here it would be the other way around, set B minus set A, and symmetric is nothing but, guys, it would be XOR. Okay, set A and you say XOR set B. Okay, and everything is should return me the same answer. Okay, now if you see this, union, intersection, difference, difference, symmetrical, right? So this is all from the set, guys. Okay, so we have finished all the data structures. In the next session we'll be jumping into the functions and we'll be talking more about the functions. Okay, thanks for joining the session. Have a nice day.